Hello spooky people and welcome to In the Maw of Thanatos, where I talk about all types of horror, both old and new, because that's what I do. Today I'll be talking about a movie that came out in 2021. What? Another new film? Yes, I know. I can't believe it either. So watch out for fashionable witches as we discuss the tale of the Nightbooks. Our story begins at a birthday party that nobody went to.
No one showed up.
It's here that we meet our young hero Alex, played by Winslow Fegley, tearing down his posters and announcing that he's going to burn all of his cool stuff. And it is cool stuff. I'd have loved that stuff as a kid. No lie, no hyperbole. We later find out why, but for now, we just see a child angry at the world. Also, no spoilers, but fuck Josh.
Everyone thinks it's weird.
As he leaves to burn his things, his parents' parting words sting young Alex. On the way down to the boiler room, the elevator breaks down. Alex is then tempted into an apartment by Lost Boys and a slice of pumpkin pie, and who can blame him? We then meet our fashionable witch, Natacha, played by Kristen Ritter, who leads Alex to write scary stories every day for reasons that will become clear. Marvel fans will recognise her as playing the lead in the eponymously titled Jessica Jones. Alex then meets Lenore, a magical cat who can turn invisible, and acts as a spy for Natacha when she's not around. Then Yazmin, Lydia Jewett, another child trapped by the apartment, to carry out general chores. And prior to Alex's arrival, read the witch stories from the library. Oof, that library. Can we take a moment to appreciate that heavenly location?
Ta-da. This is so cool. Wow!
So Alex finds out they can't write anything new since the events that caused him to lose all faith in himself.
Short stories? Fine. For some stories? Yes, a haunted desk. Haunted by the spirit of somebody who died working at it. No, it's stupid. They're gonna think it's stupid. Once upon a time, Alex stared up at the ceiling. Then the ceiling fell on him. Put him out of his misery.
And instead reads from his Nightbooks. Slight spoilers. Alex tries to detach himself from who he is, but eventually he learns that what others perceive in him as being weird, in fact makes him special. A journey that takes most people years to figure out. Natacha critiques them all, being a stickler for accuracy. Setup. And at the reading of the first story, she berates him for it having a happy ending when the apartment reacts badly.
A happy ending.
Are you out of your mind?
No happy endings.
In my opinion though, the original ending that Alex had was far sadder than the one that he's forced to tack on to appease Natacha. Anywho, Alex and Yazmin become friends as they try to escape the clutches of Natacha before they mess up too badly and she turns them into creepy figurines. Following a trail of breadcrumbs within the books hidden in the library.
It's writing.
Written by a previous prisoner trapped in the apartment. They formulate a plan and in the process uncover the secrets of the witch. Nightbooks is another in a long line of Netflix originals and was released onto the streaming platform on the 15th of September 2021. Directed by David Yarovesky, who has made a few things, including The Hive, which he also wrote, and Brightburn, two rather good films in my opinion. Produced by Sam Raimi, which is blatantly obvious in some of the scenes, with the director almost paying homage to the man who gave us Evil Dead Splatterfest. The story is based on the book of the same name, written by J.A. White. White writes books aimed at kids in middle school, or for those of us not in America, 11 to 12-year-olds. The story itself is kind of a retelling of, or more appropriately, a sequel to Hansel and Gretel in a weird way. I think that Nightbooks acts as a great gateway movie, so if you do have a kid who's beginning to show an interest in the macabre, then maybe start with this, rather than throwing them in the deep end with something like, say, Bride of Reanimator. The story and overall presentation do come across a little bit goosebumpsy or Are You Afraid of the Dark, the original series, but that may just be the age bracket of the target audience. I don't know. It's pretty noticeable in the little vignettes of Alex's stories.
And as soon as his foot crosses the threshold, children squealing, playing, cycling.
And it's also in these sections that the acting is a little weak, but it is more than made up for by our main characters, who do a great job in selling the believability of the story.
You're a kid.
And you're a genius.
I'm Alex. Who are you?
You're gonna be chatty. Great. I'm Yazmin.
Are you a prisoner too?
No, I'm on vacation.
Special mention going to Winslow Fegley, who I empathised with probably a little bit too much. I really did feel for him, and his loss of his self-belief, his innocence, and the things he loves.
He was embarrassed to be himself.
When I was younger, probably around the same age as Winslow's character, or Alex, maybe 12 years old, I was given a homework assignment to write a short story. At the time, Resident Evil had just come out, the original one, and I'd just played it. So of course, the natural thing for me to do was to write a story based around Resident Evil in some way. And I wrote a story inspired by the game. The teacher, while saying I did a good job, ended up downgrading my mark because
the content was too mature and made me feel ill.
Come on, I only put one vomiting scene in. I mean, how else would you react if you saw a partially cannibalised corpse? Anyway, enough about me and my childhood trauma.
Writers, always so insecure.
Winslow's portrayal of a boy being faced with and ultimately coming to terms with being different, the realisation that if you don't follow the horde, the norm, then you'll be seen as an outsider, a weirdo, a freak,
Yes. Understood.
As you get older, you do learn that friends do leave as your interests diverge, and the gulf becomes too great between your interests and theirs, or that you are less willing or wanting to fit in than they are. You don't want to sacrifice pieces of yourself for the comfort and happiness of others, particularly strangers. The big lesson of Nightbooks is to find people who like you for what you are, and I think we can all learn a little something from that.
Sorry about that.
Lydia Jewett is good at portraying a girl who has isolated herself emotionally and lost all hope of escape. The moments where you can see her softening towards Alex and rekindling of that dead hope are well acted, subtle, and feel genuine. When it comes to our main antagonist, Natacha, Kristen Ritter is eerily effective at how she plays her evil witch. Her domination over the children gives weight to how much they fear her.
I almost killed you. If I didn't need you to clean up the mess, I would have.
But there are humanising lapses in Natasha's monstrous character, and Ritter's performance of these breaks is understated, and it really sells the idea that there's something more going on beneath the surface. The special effects are a mixture of CGI and practical, and as you would expect from a Netflix original production, they are pretty decent. I have no complaints. They're effective, they look good. I mean, what else can you ask for? While the film isn't scary by my desensitised standards, it does have some creepy moments. The Candy Witch is particularly great. The level of detail to her design and costume is great. One particular aspect actually made me laugh. I know that's not a thing you want to hear in horror, but sometimes horror can be fun. The wardrobe for Kristen Ritter's witch is a goth dream. I mean, those shoes.
Shoes. Shoes. Oh my god, shoes.
In regards to the soundtrack, anyone who knows anything about classic 80s horror will instantly recognise the appearance of Cry Little Sister by Gerard McMahon. McMahon? I don't know. And a cover does appear by Churches or Churches? I don't know. I think it's just a funky way of writing churches, so we'll go with that. They do a cover for the end credits, and it's alright, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original. And of course it appears in Lost Boys, which also makes an appearance in the film. So, double Lost Boys. Obviously, I can't play the tracks for you here because of the monster that is YouTube's algorithm and copyright. I'll pop the links to the tracks down below in the description so that you can go and compare and contrast at your own leisure. So what's the final verdict? Well, if you hadn't guessed yet, I really enjoyed Nightbooks and I would totally recommend this. Especially, as I mentioned earlier, as a gateway movie to anyone who's developing an interest in the genre. Is it scary? Oh gods no. Is it enjoyable though? Very much so. I say give it a chance. You might not leap out of your seat in fright, but it is a good time with a fun little story. If you enjoyed this video, then please feed the algorithm your sweets by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Remember, stay safe, stay weird, and most importantly, stay spooky. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Oh my god, shoes.